Coach, what are you feeling after that game?
I'm feeling a sense of frustration for sure because we haven't closed the game out, but I think all told it was a really good performance. I think once we got over the first 3 or 4 minutes, I felt like we really settled into the game and I took control of it to an extent. Again, not necessarily with the ball, but certainly without the ball, the number of chances we created. And then as the game went on, I felt like where we have needed to show an improvement on the ball at certain periods and strike that balance between counter-attacking really quickly and making sure that we also have enough control of the ball to keep us connected as a team and move together. I felt like we did that really, really well, particularly in the second half. So I will for sure wake up frustrated with the result, but I think if you'd asked me before, I would have to an extent preferred a performance that shows what we can be at home, because I've had in my mind that we've had a tough opening 4 games based on 3 of those being away, 1 of them being against LA. We've had to really grind, and I felt today like we showed that we can be a dominant team in a certain way, and that has to be the path that we follow at home. So that's arguably the most pleasing thing. And I would also say we've shown real strength in depth, in the sense that we could rely on 5 players to come into the team today and replace 5 internationals against a team that hasn't lost any. So we feel very satisfied in that sense, and certainly those that came in will get a real pat on the back.
Eric, what did you look to as some of the reasons for the second goal allowed?
Yeah, so the second goal for sure comes from that unfamiliarity with the back line and not being in their rhythm on defending those situations. So some of the line drops very quick, some of the line drops late. We're not really well connected between the players that should be picking the second balls up and the players that are in the line. So I put a little bit of that down to concentration, mentality, and it's a really disappointing goal to concede, and we've got to get better there. But again, there are some mitigating circumstances, but I'm keen not to put those excuses on the plate in front of the players, because I feel like they're better than that. We should have closed that game out for sure, because again, it was one of those, in a very similar way to last week, we did have our foot on their neck at that point, and it was a case of chance after chance after chance for us, and we had that real sense of dominance. So to find ourselves without having taken the 3 points is a tough one. But again, there's real momentum there in terms of we're now 4 games unbeaten. Or 3 games unbeaten, should I say, and we've shown real step forwards in many senses performance-wise.
Coach, el equipo se vio muy bien manteniendo la posesión del balón casi durante todo el partido, pero ¿qué falta para poder lograr esa ventaja en los minutos finales cuando prácticamente ya estaban con el triunfo y se empata en los últimos minutos?
Obviamente hemos tenido oportunidades muy claras. No es normal crear un XG de 3 o más de 3 contra un equipo como ellos, y por eso en un cierto sentido estoy muy feliz por haber mostrado nuestra capacidad de dominar un partido, porque hasta ese punto generalmente no hemos tenido mucho del balón y hemos contado más en contraataques y balones parados, pero hoy hemos mostrado que somos un equipo mucho más completo y podemos ser una amenaza en balones parados, contraataques, en el juego más organizado, y por eso estoy feliz. Pero como he dicho en inglés, el sentido de frustración es también lo hay.
So Alex Mayer made his first start since last summer. What were your overall thoughts on him and goal today?
Yeah, I think he did as I would have expected him to do. Steady. He wasn't called upon all that much. Obviously, by design, we have up until this point been really solid in the way we've defended the goal and not given him nor Dane numerous opportunities to show their quality as shot stoppers, which is how it should be. And he's kicked it relatively well today. He's someone who you can rely on to communicate and organise. So again, a steady performance, and someone that I'm more than happy with to see step in as number 2.
What's the early word on Hassani's injury?
I think I'll probably a reserve judgment on that. I don't think it's looking great, but obviously until we have that scanned and confirmed, then we certainly hold out all the hope in the world for him. So we'll revisit that one on Monday.
Was he initially hurt about 5 minutes before that and decided to stay in?
I'm not actually sure. I haven't seen it back. So yeah, I know he had some discomfort after an incident that was close to the bench, and obviously it was something that he wasn't able to shake off. And you know how Hassani is. He's a tough guy. He's a all-action player, someone that is desperate to stay on the pitch. So you assume that if he wasn't able to do so, there's certainly something there. So again, fingers crossed. But we will be more definitive early next week.
Feels like every game so far you've talked about chances that weren't converted. Are you fearing that sort of becoming a theme so far with this team?
I would say today we've created a lot of chances. You're not going to score 5 or 6 goals against Galaxy. It's very unlikely that's the case. But I suppose today we again, having glanced the data, very high XG. We've created a lot of clean-cut chances, I would say. So for sure, we have to look at ourselves in that sense. But I think the biggest thing for me tonight was that we created chances in a certain way, and that we for sure we showed our quality on set play, showed our quality on counter-attacks, but we showed our quality in creating a certain type of chance from more organised play, and showed some real craft and composure around the box. So I'll focus on that for sure.
Going back to Hassani, you subbed Owen Jean on for him. He got his first extended minutes with the team today since joining. What did you think about his performance?
I think he did a good job. Obviously, we on that right-hand side in the second half showed, I think, a level of composure that perhaps we, not necessarily on the right-hand side only, but we've lacked at certain points in the middle third, and he contributed to that. And he's someone, I think he's probably less offensive-minded than Hassani, but he can certainly handle the ball, and he can certainly run, and he can break play up, and he can help you launch counter-attacks in the middle third through the way he intercepts and the way he presses. So I was more than happy with that performance, and I feel like over the course of his time so far, he's shown that he's someone that we can count on. He's come on in difficult situations, and today he's certainly done himself no harm.
How is it for a manager to have Kelvin Yeboah, who's been such a steady influence in the game and creating as many goals as he has been?
Yeah, it's I think the most pleasing thing with Kelvin for me is that he's shown his quality as a team player. He's someone that I can rely on to defend in a certain way. I can rely on to work. The other players can rely on him to do certain things off the ball, and then he's doing what he showed he could do when he first arrived last year, which is be a regular threat in front of goal, someone who will take high pressure moments, as he's shown on a couple of occasions with the penalties. And I'm also pleased that he's scoring a certain type of goal at the moment as well. I think he's learning the value of a goal that isn't the most glamorous off a set play, and he's in the right position at the right time, and he's worked really hard at that, or he's certainly been open and willing to take on information from the staff and I. So I feel like he's probably not caught fire in the way that he did last year, and he hasn't. His highlights reel probably isn't as spectacular as it was, but he's scoring goals every game, and he's defending really, really solidly, and I know the players really value that all-roundedness that he shows.
Does this feel like an opportunity missed to sort of reverse the narrative from last summer when the international absences caused such a swoon?
No, I'd say it less an opportunity missed and more sort of proof of concept to an extent, proof of the fact that we do have depth. I mean, result aside, we've dominated against a team that isn't affected by the internationals in the same way that we are. Yeah, of course, they have a couple of players that they really count on who aren't with them today through injury, but that's still a very competitive MLS team with some top players, and I feel like we certainly now have raised the floor of the group, and obviously the level of our performance wasn't compromised by missing 5 internationals, 5 players that are or have been near automatic starters for us to an extent. So we're pleased with that, and I think that's a step in the right direction, as opposed to being something that I'll be regretful about in that sense.
What do you think of Romero's first start?
I think he did really well, really well. You've seen today what I liked in him and what I hope he's going to bring to the table. He's aggressive. He's good in the air. He's a real competitor. But he can also play. He can pass the ball. He can switch play. He can break lines well. So I feel now between him, Morris, Boxy, Jeff, Carlos, and Dev and Kip when he's fit, we've got a good depth there, and it's going to be a bit of a straight shootout for those starting spots. But we can certainly rely on those players to push one another and give us some real depth and competition.
Any more for Ramsay? All right, appreciate
Good.
it.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
everybody.
Cheers. Bye-bye.